Good morning, everybody. Here we are, the first ever Wake and Bake edition of, you may have noticed in the opening graphic, this is getting Doug with drunk this morning, because my guest, and I would never allow anyone else to come on this show and do this, but this is an old friend of mine, great stand-up comedian who's not in LA that often. You just sort of pop through every once in a while.
Yeah.
So I'm excited that you're here and that you're willing to come in the morning. And it's Doug Stanhope, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And so that's what we're doing today. Is I'm going to do my normal smoking, and I'm going to have some my breakfast alcohol of choice. They've poured a nice glass of Guinness for me. And Doug, you're drinking a mimosa.
The mimosa.
Can you drink a lot of mimosa? Because champagne eventually gives me a headache if I have too much of it.
Yeah, you can do 3 or 4 tops, and then move on.
So then we'll switch you over to some vodka and grapefruit or something like that?
Yeah, vodka soda with grapefruit.
That's a nice breakfasty sounding drink.
I did not know that I had cocktails waiting for me here.
Oh, you didn't?
I was just going to bring my own, and then I got up, and it's not like Wake and Bake. You don't normally drink at this hour.
Oh, okay. Let's establish that.
I figured I was going to collapse and break down and smoke weed, which I'm terrible at. It's not a good idea. But I have to film for Comedy Central this afternoon, where I have to be drunk. So I was afraid if I smoked pot,
that would influence your drunk.
It would fuck up my drinking.
But this is great that you can just start drinking now. So you're going to do drunk history?
No, we're doing a spoof of drunk history for another show, but I will definitely be drinking.
Where you will actually be drunk?
Yes.
That's good.
I got high on Rogan's podcast once, and I'd done mushrooms early, and then I drank, and then I said, fuck it, I'll smoke your weed. And I had to do a show in Brea that night, and I don't remember a minute of it.
Yeah, you don't think you'll ever go
Rogan
back
had to apologize on Twitter for it. He goes, I take full responsibility. # weed ain't for everyone.
Oh, that's hilarious. So, I tried to get him to come in this morning, but he's doing a thing with the Young Turks. That's, that website where it's they're progressives.
No idea.
Yeah, but I'm sure Joe loves talking to them.
How do you get anyone in here at 9:15 in the morning?
Well, this is the only time we've done this. This is like a special thing we decided to try, just because we normally do the show at 4:15 in the afternoon, and that's great for a lot of people. But some people, especially in other countries, like for instance, if anybody's watching in Reykjavik, Iceland, Reykjavik,
hello.
It's going to be 4:20 there in just a couple of minutes.
I've been to Reykjavik. Have you been?
I have not. You've been a lot of places I haven't been.
I went to Reykjavik. The mayor was a comedian. He just left office, John Gnar, or however you pronounce it. He was a comedian, and he ran a goof campaign for mayor during that economic collapse, and he got elected.
And then he got elected.
He's like, fuck. But yeah, he's a brilliant
so he's
guy.
Really doing the job.
He just got out of office. Yes.
Wow.
So there's I played the only prison in Reykjavik. I won't try to pronounce it. But yeah, they only have like 80 dudes in prison there, so we did a free show for the prisoners. And
wow, up there at the Orange New Black prison?
It's kind of, it might as well be. They had everything but
like
chicks.
An Icelandic way of. Last week we launched the sale of these mugs that you're going to get to take one home with you that say "Getting Doug with High" on them. That's the logo for the show. Some people say it should say "Getting Mug with High," but maybe we'll have a spin-off mug someday. But we put these things on sale. We didn't have a huge stock of them, but we put them on sale, and the ones we had sold out in like 5 hours. $28 too, by the way. $20 for the mug and $8 for shipping. Just sold out immediately. People love these mugs.
Take note, management. We need more merch.
Yeah, if you want to go the mug route. I think they just see us with the mugs every week, and so it's like because people are watching us and smoking weed and just watching the show, and it's like we're having a session together, and then they see the mugs, and they're like, that could make me feel like I'm more a part of it if I have the mug. People, are trying to buy these pipes that look like these so that they can just really have the experience.
You should have action figures.
Yeah. or like in the case of the show,
monkey,
in action figures.
The smoking monkey monkey.
Yeah. So the mugs are going to be back in stock soon. You could check the merch site to stay notified. But in the meantime, we're excited to announce that the Getting Dug with High T-shirts are now for sale. Open that up.
I would have worn a T-shirt.
Style. Well, we're giving you one for sure.
Do you open your sets like this, dude? You do them.
Yeah, I do the merch first,
so I don't forget
that out of the way. Here we go, flying in. There's your own shirt,
thanks.
And it's especially fun for you because your name is Doug, so people will be very confused.
Always be branding. There we go.
Yeah,
I've never done a podcast. I forgot this is being filmed.
This is
when I remembered it being
people are watching us right now.
Yeah, even then I figured it's some guy with a camera. I've never been to a podcast that had a makeup department.
Yeah,
and I felt really bad for that girl trying to fix this decades of wreckage with one small palette of watercolors.
Heather does a great job.
Head.
She's terrific at fixing up, she makes everybody look nice. I've never seen Joey Diaz look prettier than when he was on this show.
That's a tough one too.
Yeah,
but
we got the link for the T-shirts. Should be up on the screen. We got stuff shows up on the screen. It's
where
everything.
Where do people go
to
get this?
Show.
Me as a consumer, and I do consume, especially from the couch.
You go to my YouTube page, which most people watching right now have done. Everybody watching now has done. YouTube.com/Doug Benson. And then we archive the episode. So a lot of people watch today, but then a lot more will see it over the next weeks
by the
and
time
months.
some people see this, you might already have mugs back in stock.
That's right.
Right. So don't just assume they're out of mugs today.
Yeah,
they probably
might
mugs.
have them.
Yeah, go pre-order.
When you get around to watching this,
pre-order the
mugs.
So they get. You're standing on Amazon.
I missed my. That's what happens when I hang out with a non-pot smoker. Is I missed my 920. 420 smoking window, so I gotta start smoking.
You can blow it at me.
Okay, that sounds good.
And what if I lit up a cigarette? Everyone would go ape shit.
Yeah, I don't think.
I wouldn't do it.
Most pot smokers aren't a fan of cigarette smoking, but some do both, right?
Yeah, not many.
What's your high history? Like, when did you try it, and how did you find out that it's not for you in general?
I gave it several auditions. I smoked pot as a teenager, and I get weird. I remember clinging onto the earth like I was gonna fall off. It affects me a lot like tripping does, except for the social aspect. I never feel involved. I feel like I'm the butt of the joke around high people, especially when I'm high as well.
That makes sense.
And it never changed.
Yeah, that's, I like that sort of thing keeps some people out of the game, Everybody can't smoke pot.
Well, it's like drinkers. There's nothing worse than a sloppy drunk.
People that are shitty at it, yeah. There is absolutely nothing worse.
Yeah.
I mean, I will take somebody that's too high over somebody that's too drunk any day.
Someone brought brownies to our house. We have football parties every Sunday I'm in town. And someone brought brownies over, which I would know instinctively to ask first. But this was at like 9 in the morning where someone had dropped them off. So I go, these
Those
are
seem
normal
like innocent brownies, yeah.
My girlfriend ate a third of the tray. I ate one, and it was a shitty brownie. So I just ate like half of a bite and chucked it out. And that alone, all football Sunday, I go, someone else has to host this. I couldn't get my drink to my mouth. My arms were rubber, and I'm like, this sucks shit. So as much as I'm tempted to make an asshole of myself.
No, edibles can really throw you over the top. We have a sponsor on the show called Blackout X, and they make these new, like, things are getting more newfangled. Like, you should maybe try some of the, strains that are more specifically for, certain things, and try
strains for people who don't like to smoke pot.
Yes. Yeah. They're coming up with strains for people that don't, because Brendan Small was on the show last week, and he wrote me an email afterwards thanking me profusely for kind of getting him back into it a little bit, because he had kind of stopped for a while.
Do you have one of those strains here? Because I'm going to break down. I have I'm a weak character.
No, I'm counting on you to break down. But we usually have a release that the guests sign that says, I know I'm going to be smoking marijuana.
I just had to sign something. and I get the leaving Las Vegas drunk shakes in the morning. So I'm with the pen like this, and I think I'm going to have to do that Nicolas Cage thing where he has to go to the bar and have 5 shots before he can sign his check at the bank. All right, maybe it's too dated a reference.
Yeah, a lot of people haven't seen Moonstruck. These Blackout X pens, I mean, it's really smooth and tasty. If you're going to try something, you should try this and see what you think of that. And we can hold off and do it towards the end of the episode.
Well, no, let's.
All right, here we go.
Get it out of the way. Jesus.
All right, I was ready to, have the first ever non-smoking guest. Did it hit? Yeah, you got a little bit there, but isn't it pretty smooth, right?
Smooth enough you don't know if you're getting a hit.
You did.
Oh,
I did better. But yeah, a little green light comes on in the end, lets you know. But it's really that's the boy. That's the hit right there.
All right. Yeah,
but it tastes good, right?
That'll be fine. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to do great.
That'll be good. What could possibly go wrong?
Mm-hmm. This is the only refillable disposable on the market. You smoke it for a while, you toss it. You can put liquid, oil, or wax in it. And here's the big Blackout X announcement of this week. They've got an announcement every week. They got another one coming next week. But this one is they have a subscription service now. For $25 a month, you get 4 of these pens that are 300 hits each, and you got to put your own stuff in there. They don't come loaded. And the first month is only $1 with free domestic shipping, just domestic. Don't get crazy, people in other countries. Sorry, Reykjavik, Iceland.
Did I get roped into an infomercial?
You basically did, yeah.
Just 1 hour of plugs.
We always have a ton of business to do, but the sponsors like it when it's more like a conversation.
Yeah.
Like Joe Rogan does a half hour of
I know,
talking
but he's
about
not reading off of giant index cards. It doesn't seem like
it's very professional. No, you're making it conversational.
By the way, this is very smooth. The cough comes from 35 years of smoking Marlboro Lights. So I got my plug in.
Oh yeah, maybe they'll send you some.
Yeah,
maybe they'll send you
free
a carton.
cigarettes when I did the Man Show. There was some upstart brand called Legal cigarettes, and their whole marketing campaign was to just get anyone on TV or in the public eye to smoke their cigarettes, and they'd give you free ones for life or until they went out of business.
Right,
which
happened. Yeah,
even quicker than the Man Show. That's a
poor. less than one season.
Yeah.
The Legal cigarettes.
That quickly.
So it's blackoutx.com/Doug is where you need to go, and the infomercial's over. Except to say that next week they're going to launch a new product on our show.
Ooh.
Yeah, and these guys.
Who's going to be pitching that?
They keep taking it up a notch,
All right.
Let's get back to talking about you.
No. I had nothing to say.
No, you got plenty
I don't
to
usually
say.
talk till 4 o'clock in the afternoon at all.
Yeah, this is sort of like quiet time for comedian types.
Yeah,
I'm on the computer, but I'm not talking to anybody.
This is sad time. Usually this is my angry time, where I just find one person on Twitter that bothers me and just tear them to pieces and then apologize later.
Oh, you go back and apologize?
Sometimes.
Sometimes I block them and then I can't go back. And,
you can't find them. Once you block them, then
they're gone.
Yeah.
But people come up to me sometimes in my shows. Hey man, you blocked my friend. He knows he was being a dick. Can you unblock him? And every time I say sure, and I unblock him. And I never regret it. Nobody's been a pain in the ass after I unblock them.
That's another thing I hate about it. Once you cough, you don't stop coughing.
I could get some serious coughing jags going.
There's no, Jesus Christ.
You're still doing a hell of a lot better than Jim Jeffries. I'll tell you that.
Jeffrey's a smoker?
He just, he dabbles in it. He doesn't do it very often. I think when he's really drunk, he'll have a few hits or something. But in the afternoon here, we did a 4:15 show with him, and he took a bong rip or something, and he had a massive coughing fit. I had a massive coughing fit on Rogan's podcast one time. Do
you guys have pissing contests over who has better weed?
No, that's... That's part of what I like about Joe is he's just not a typical pot smoker at all. Like, he remembers a ton of shit. He's really smart on it. He doesn't smoke before the UFC stuff, because he knows that he might get a little too rambly or whatever.
Potheads don't generally use the word functional, but if it applies to anyone, if there were
he fucking, he'll take a hit and then get in the ring with somebody and fucking spar. He has a fucking octagon in his home. Like, the guy is intense, but he also likes to smoke, but like, he doesn't smoke with strangers after shows. Like, I smoke with everybody. Yeah. And he's just sort of like,
way too
I don't
cool.
want to. He thinks somebody might give him something that's not just marijuana. Like, somebody might fuck with him.
Yeah.
He's paranoid about that. And that comes from smoking marijuana, the paranoia.
Or just good logic.
It's a revolving door. Yeah, I guess it's logic, but I haven't had a problem yet, That's like people say, I don't want to parachute because, you could die doing that. Like, how often do you hear about people dying doing it? The companies that take people out and parachute, everyone has to survive so that they can stay a company.
Right.
That's their job, is keeping everybody alive. So the worst you hear about is maybe a broken ankle or something, So that's why I went skydiving. But other people, just the fact that you could die makes people not do it. They just choose not to because it might kill them. But so is driving to work every day.
I can see people fucking with Rogan or wanting to a lot more than you. No one's.
Maybe, yeah, that could be true.
He has that aggressive side that brings that out in other people.
Yeah, and they might even do it. They also might think they're just having fun with him. Like, I really.
Well, he also does shit like
put a little crystal meth in there.
When are you gonna do that episode?
Getting methed up with Doug. I got to smoke from some of these pipes.
I wish it was like you could drop a comic's name, like, what wouldn't you have blank on? So, but you'd be throwing them under the bus. Being a drunk or being a pothead, but if you're doing heroin, yeah, you can't make that joke about you. Anyway, I'm guessing there's a lot of dead air. I'm guessing.
Tying off with Doug.
Doug and I did one of our my first ever paid comedy club gigs at the Riviera together.
That was a whole week you were emceeing, and that was your first ever paid gig.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Because we didn't know, the rest of us didn't know what to make of you. Tom Martin and Hugh Fink and I were the other acts.
Wow, you remember the whole lineup.
And Steve Schirripa was running the club at that time. The guy who went on to play Bobby Bacala on The Sopranos.
And he was wicked prick.
And every week he picked somebody to tear a new asshole every single night, and you were the guy that week.
Yeah.
And we were all relieved because he was leaving us alone. But then by the end of the week, though,
he'd literally slap you in the face.
Yeah, he was intense. He was very.
You're doing 7 minutes, not 7:01, not 6:99, 7. He'd slap you.
Yeah.
Jesus, this guy's hitting me.
I love telling that one. And and he was just like, he rode you all week long. One night you showed up late for some reason, and that he just exploded on you.
That was the one night I remember being high on stage. Not necessarily that night, but that club. And I get high with a chick because you're trying to, oh, sure, I'll smoke pot with you because you're a hot chick. And then I had to go do another show, and I couldn't tell 20 seconds from 20 minutes, and you have this beast mafia guy in the back, Steve Schirripa, that hits you for funny. So if you were actually mad, and I was just so terrified I had missed the light, and I did fine.
Yeah, but I remember there was a funny turn at the end of the week. One of us was saying something about you, joking around, and Steve Schirripa said something like, that kid did that was what it was. A hot shot from Riviera, like a top guy, came to one of the shows. And Schirripa told us that the only act he liked was you. And that was after a whole week of us being like, oh, this kid, what's going to happen with this guy? You seem like obviously, looking back, I didn't know it was your absolute first paid gig, but you were trying to be a comic instead of being yourself, which you eventually became, and then have become great at it.
Nothing else.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, you're one of the, you don't get to see a lot of big turnarounds with you see somebody in the beginning stages and they don't seem like they're going to get it together, and then they turn out to be amazing. You never get to see that. And in my case, I got to see that with you. I got to see
all my
because you were doing like premises that just felt like you were just saying the kinds of things that you should say.
Exactly.
Instead of just telling your own stories, which are amazing.
I never even thought about telling my own stories till about maybe 4 years in.
Yeah, and you had some good ones at that point.
A year when I met you. A year in. Yeah,
but that's pretty fast to get a paid gig a year in, because I got to go to a break. But I dabbled around. I started in LA, so I fucked around with stand-up for like, just doing a set every couple of weeks for like 4 years or 5 years before I even got a paid gig.
Yeah, I never had we going to break?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, we'll be right back after I refill my glass.
Oh, there's a new Doug in town.
Tom Arnold.
That was an experience that I have blocked. I don't even remember it.
Tom?
Huh?
All I remember is one time there was some story in the Enquirer, because all the stories, and you go, I'm going to find out who planted this story.
I know. That's a good one, huh? Yeah.
And who ended up, you did a thorough search, because you knew
I paid a guy
time.
60 grand for a private detective.
Yeah.
We're sitting there. Here, this is like crazy. This is how it was. And we're sitting there, and Tom's next to me, and he goes, this is going to be so great that we're going to find out who's done this. And the guy, I go, so who's the leak, Because, also when you got something like that, all the time, everybody you see, you're like, I wonder if it's him, I wonder.
Suspect
so it's like you're totally isolated thinking everybody's the person
That's a terrible feeling.
And the guy, he looks like he's all calm. He goes, well, we found out who the leak was, and he smiles and everything. And I'm like, good, who was it? He goes, it's your husband. And, I look over and he's just like, no emotion. He's just like.
Hey, we're back, and I got bagel in my mouth. I got a mouthful of bagel. 1,535 people are watching us live right now, Doug Stanhope.
Jesus.
If you're joining us, stand-up comedian Doug Stanhope. I don't know if I've
How
run
many
into
are in
you.
Iceland?
Yeah, we need to hear from you if you're in Iceland. Tweet at us and say, hey, I'm in Iceland watching you. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't have a good feeling about it. First T-shirt was sold already. Lauren T. from Houston, Texas bought the very first ever. There it is. Always be branding.
It's mine.
No, we got to send that out to this girl.
All right.
And then we got to restock because we're already out. You may have noticed that Gabe, what do you like to be called last name-wise?
Dylan is fine.
Gabe Dylan, yes, Gabe
purposes.
Dylan. I know what his real last name is. He's got a showbiz last name, and it's Dylan. Gabe Dylan on Twitter. Is there an underscore in there?
Yes, there is.
Okay. Can we put that up on the thing for everybody? And he has joined us. He's going to smoke with me since Doug is not going to smoke so much. How you feeling, Doug? You doing all right?
Yeah, I feel all right.
But it's a pleasant high that the Blackout X provides, correct?
I'm getting a smile I don't normally have at this hour.
That's nice. So normally we do the magic trick at the end, but you seem high enough, and I want Gabe to get high too. So he's going to do a magic trick for you right now.
All right.
All right, Doug,
Yeah,
take your
it's
card.
Gabe time. Wait, you gotta let the graphic blocks the whole picture, so you gotta wait till it's done.
I know how it works.
Right there.
All right, here we go.
Take your card, any card. Show it to Jake over there. All right, place it back on this pile anytime you want, right there. I'm just gonna snap my fingers. One card only. Actually turns red.
I think that's my favorite reaction ever. Like
cards.
Marge
All right.
on The Simpsons.
Oh, that's why you do it, because I forgot my card.
This should be right.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, Doug, put your hand out like this for me. I'm going to take the card, place it here, put your other hand on top of it. Doug, you mind helping me with this one?
Oh, Jesus.
Other Doug. Tell me when to stop.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll pick one of your cards.
Hey, wait a second.
Just tell me
Stop.
when. Okay, right there. Take a look at that card. Okay, I'll show it to Jake.
Okay.
All right. Snap my fingers. One card only. Changes colors. Do you see a red card, Doug?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's only one red card here.
Oh, so show me that 6 of spades.
No.
So, Jake,
Unbelievable.
how's that possible?
That this guy's
does he
on
do that?
every week. How's that possible?
He does a
Nothing to do.
different trick every week. I was going to ask you about this, but somebody on Twitter @Lake_radio wants to know what was it like shooting your episode of Louie, because the episode turned out amazing.
It was. I was.
You can agree with that.
All the jerk off things you say, but you know what? It was fun. Yeah, I was scared going in, and then once you realize, okay, that much dialogue, you're only gonna have to say like 2 sentences, and then they're gonna have to break everything down and reset. So you have to like learn 2 lines an hour. Like I was so panicked about forgetting my shit.
Right.
All you have to do is remember to say, "Oh, and the elevator's that way," and then
You
you're
had
gonna be on break for 2 hours.
pretty thick monologue at one point, though, didn't you?
Yeah, I worked on it.
Yeah.
I walked around my backyard doing it to my dogs, and I told this story. Fuck it, that's all right. This. I already this story is like an extra on one of my DVDs, so I feel like I'm working out material, but it's still a funny story.
Okay. Oh shit.
But I learned that dialogue. I mean, like a manic person. I just sit at home. I don't act. I told Louie that up front. Like I suck at acting, and he's like, "But would you try?" And I go, "Yeah, I'll try." So we did auditioning by Skype, and we'll do it again. He said, "Do it this way, it's good, but go a different way with this, and go down." Gave me some notes, and then said, "I'll call you back, and we'll do it again." And I relearned it for. He doesn't call back forever. He doesn't call back to the point where I go, that fucking asshole. I told him I suck at acting. It's not my gig, and I went this far. I know every line by heart. So what I'm gonna do? Oh shit! I told this story on Stern, didn't I? Fuck! I hate myself.
That's all right.
I was doing Stern
I
coming
don't
up,
think
so
we have the same audience exactly.
Yeah, probably not. So I decided I'm going on Stern. I already have all of this script memorized back to front. What I'm going to do is I'm going to insinuate very specific dialogue in the conversation with Stern. And that way, finally, when he hires someone else to play this guy, it's going to look like he stole his entire script from my Stern appearance, which I thought was a brilliant idea. And then he finally called back and said, "Sorry, it took so long."
Oh, so you didn't do the Stern thing?
No, I was going to. And then
Because also, wouldn't Howard get confused if you keep just saying things that just are like lines from, it would be pretty hard to work it into the conversation, wouldn't it?
No, there were parts where you go,
because it was just about yourself, so you could just go off.
But yeah,
like if Howard says, "How you doing?"
What was the line, honey, that made me crazy? I didn't want to say it. That about Manhattan is just some line I would never say.
Get back to us later after you're not high.
Yeah.
And I'll update the show and tell people what it was that are dying to know.
Doesn't matter.
I'm smoking sativa mostly so far. I'll hit the indica in a second. But
Wait, what did I just smoke? E-pot?
What was in the Blue Dream? Blue Dream was it? So that was a sativa. So it's like should be kind of up high, creative.
Yeah,
happy.
It's not hitting me then. I got nothing.
You don't have to create anything right now. It's just magic watching you. I mean, I didn't think you were gonna. I honestly like you so much that I was gonna have you as a guest and not even try that hard to get you to smoke. It was just gonna be let's just do a drunk episode.
See, if I was creative, I would have had some way of segueing from you just said it's magic and then as a magician here, I can't put those two things together.
You just did.
Punchline.
You did in a clunky way. That still works. That's all I do is clunk it through. Triple XOG is the indica that I'm gonna try right now.
Do you have sponsors that give you all the weed?
I forget where we're at right now. Sometimes we buy it ourselves. Sometimes people give it to us. But I don't think there's. I'd have to mention them if they gave it to us, right?
Today was us.
Today is us. We bought our own weed.
We have a dispensary where I live in Bisbee, Arizona. They've opened up a dispensary, and no one goes to it because the prices are evidently way better. Just buy it from Dave.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, but like here in California, it's just like the absolute convenience of it is crazy, and the prices aren't. The prices are pretty competitive. I haven't had a guy bring me weed in 10 years. Burp.
Wasn't that more convenient?
The guy bringing it to me?
Yeah.
I'd have to get in his car and ride around the block, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But he wasn't chatty. He was good, and he usually. But
Do you
also,
ever catch up
they
with
don't
him?
show up sometimes, or sometimes they just, they say they'll come by and then they don't, or whatever. They get busy.
Do you ever find like your old weed dealer that like has to work a day job now because no one's?
I don't know what the guy's up to. I don't even have his number anymore. But yeah, it's weird. It's weird how it shifts and stuff. But I just had to renew my medical card just yesterday, and they have like videos playing in the lobby while you're waiting to go in. And one thing they were just really pushing was, that you should just learn how to grow your own weed, because once you're doing that, then the prices, the government, the taxes, none of that comes into play. You're just growing your own weed, and it's legal to smoke it. That's the key, is that it's legal to smoke it, so you just grow your own and then smoke it. They'll try to make it illegal to smoke it. Like tobacco companies will probably get involved, and they'll try to, make it illegal to grow your own. And then that way they have to buy it, and the taxes.
It's just a constant cycle of they fuck
Absolutely.
you, here's how to fuck them.
But to me, all that does suck. But it's still, bottom line is people need to stop being incarcerated for weed related things, Oh, that guy smoked weed, and then he watched a marathon of Ugly Betty. I couldn't get through Ugly Betty. I picked a really short title, and I fucking choked on it. Because I'm feeling pretty coffee too. This is all hitting pretty good. How you doing, Gabe?
Good. I need more coffee though.
Coffee? Yeah. Can we get some coffee for the magician?
Are you going to be doing more magic there, Carbonaro effect?
Not today.
No?
That's all I got. Once I start smoking, I can't get
He can't do it. Can't do it high, unfortunately. There was something else that I was dying to talk about, but I can't remember. Let's do some pot topics.
Hot topic.
This first one, Doug. Oh, you're hitting the thing again. Good for you.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to do this indica finally, but let me just say that veteran NBC News journalist, like some guy that's been on NBC News for a while, named Al Olson, left his senior editor position at NBC News to head up. He's going to run marijuana.com. And it's basically going to be like just a place where just everything about marijuana is reported. And he says, my first byline was at the age of 14, the same age I smoked my first joint. So he's been a fucking successful journalist and pot smoker since he was 14 years old.
All right.
Right?
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
Does he get a free $28 mug?
Let's send Al Olson a mug. That's a great idea. That's the other thing is, we can save money on packing peanuts. If somebody buys a mug and a shirt, you just roll the mug up inside the shirt and then stuff it in a box if it fits, it ships.
That'll be an annoying thing about weed being legal, because right now you have indica or sativa or like there's no real brands though yet. Like there's no where fucking Sean Combs has his own strain and everyone wears that. They only smoke that at the bar. And that will suck. Yeah,
at this point, it's just strains are named after things. Like there's a Willie Nelson strain, but it's not Willie Nelson's unaffiliated with it, other than just being, awesome Willie Nelson. like that's where we sort of like, if you smoked weed, you'd be like me. You could pretty much get away with it everywhere because you're just sort of white and successful enough that the people who recognize you help you out. The people who don't recognize you don't have a problem with you.
Yeah, you just blend into the woodwork.
Yeah, just another Doug.
Just an extra.
Isn't Doug like? I don't get to talk to too many people about this, but isn't Doug like the most boring name, and also hard to tell people in a loud bar when you say your name is Doug? You have to say it 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Jeff?
Doug?
No, Doug. Doug? Dave?
Yeah.
It's a hard one to say, but other than that, I like it. I like Douglas. Is his name really Douglas?
Yes, it is. Yeah, that's so funny
that I took a hint after asking you a question that, like, why would you say anything more than yes? That is my name.
Everyone calls me Stanhope. No, even just Doug.
That's what I was going to say earlier. Every once in a while, and I love it every time it happens, somebody insists that I'm Doug Stanhope, and they do it loudly in front of people, and when I say, no, I'm not Doug Stanhope,
but they still know it's you.
Then they just fucking insist that I am, and then they look crazy to everybody around them, because I just keep saying, that's not my name, man. And eventually he'll figure it out. Like, he'll be watching Comedy Central, and I'll come on and be like, oh, I called him the other name.
I get a local comic in Philadelphia, and I just threw a recommendation. I needed an opener last minute, and he said, I'll do it. And then he asked a friend of mine, he goes, yeah, I'm opening for Doug Stanhope. Does that guy smoke as much pot as he lets on? And he's like, yeah. Stanhope doesn't smoke pot. And he's like,
oh, yeah, that's the weed smoking guy.
Then he figured it out. He had no idea who the fuck I was.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're fortunate there's only 2 Dougs, really, that have any kind of, comedy notoriety, but it's still funny that it gets mixed up.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's the other thing I wanted to tell you.
You must get more shit than I do.
But yeah, well, I get a lot of crazy stuff, but like that one always really tickles me because they're clearly a comedy fan. They know both of us.
Yeah.
And they're like just fucking, once they say Doug, it just spills out.
But do you ever get
and I never correct them. I just say no. That I'm not. That's not who I am. I don't go. I'm Doug Benson. And I hate saying that, but but the other thing I wanted to tell you is, if maybe you knew, maybe we said it to your face, but that first week we worked with you at the Riviera, we all called you Doug Stand-Up.
Wow.
And it was sort of like, it was a combination of, obviously it's right there, it's an easy pun to make, but also that, like, you were so new at it,
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, here comes Doug Stand-Up, and that was a fun ass week though.
Do you remember? Was it the puppy fucking week?
What does that mean?
I played there a few times. Yours might have not been my first ever time at the Riviera.
I think it was.
But if he was giving me that much shit, I had come off like some triple gigs later on, playing there at one point, and I tried some shit I had written, just really rotten, vulgar stuff that killed on, Butte, Montana.
Sure.
The Copper King Hotel. So I brought that, and it's been killing on the road, and I'm too new to know the difference between the audiences, and I did some stuff that just flatlined, like horrified and that's not, they're not going to walk out on the opening act.
Isn't it fun now that like you're doing your own shows, so most people there know exactly who they're there to see, and then so there's none of that. That weird dance that happens when you're just, here's a comic, here's an audience, good luck everybody. It's hard to make it work every time.
Where I really used that whole, hey, here's the comic, so I would blame the audience. Anyone who doesn't think I'm funny, hey, fuck you. What did you expect to see?
Gabe, Doug is trying to speak. Wait your turn.
Sorry.
Get in here, Gabe. Save me. None of my stories are
You're
going
doing fine,
anywhere.
I love it. I mean,
When you say you're doing fine, you have absolutely none of that bullshit bedside manner. I feel worse when you say you're doing fine.
I mean it.
I don't think you can say anything.
I've been here for every episode.
Yeah, he knows. He knows the scale of how people handle it and what happens. And I think you're doing a great job.
We didn't even think you were going to smoke. You didn't.
I didn't know I was going to till I sat down, and I succumb easily to.
I only drink Guinness for breakfast on St. Patrick's Day. That's kind of a thing I do every year, because I'm always in Austin, Texas on St. Patrick's Day, and they one of the radio stations there, 101X, they have like they broadcast live from a pub in downtown Austin.
Yeah.
So I just go, and that's just a one day a year that I just sit there on the radio for 3 hours just drinking Guinness and eating bangers and mash and, pretending to give a shit about St. Patrick's Day.
World Cup is a great one because it's only every 4 years, and they start those games 9 o'clock in the morning or 6 in the morning.
Yeah, it's fun. I think it's fun to day drink and watch soccer for sure.
I like it, and it also tells you when to stop. All right, that was 3 World Cup games.
Speaking of when to stop, we got to take another break.
All right.
We'll be right back.
I'm going to have to go outside and smoke a cigarette. But
1,646 people. We got a nice bump of viewers.
We're going up.
Yeah, and it's an unusual time. We're usually on at 4:15 Pacific Standard Time, which we will be again next Wednesday. An amazing guest next Wednesday in the sense that I didn't know this person would openly smoke on the show, and schedules permitting, he's going to be here. But this has been delightful that you came here.
Guest?
It's always a surprise. I always find out. Like today, people had to get up this morning and tune in. Oh no! It's a couple of Dougs sitting around.
That guy's not our
with
cup of tea.
Silent magician.
No, a guy asked me, "Is it who I think it is? Is the guy in my picture?" And it was you. And I told him it was. He was
you're
very
that
excited.
guy that sent like 18 tweets. What's Doug's favorite? Kev.
Was that you?
No,
Kevin
but it
Nix?
was that guy. Yeah.
What about him?
He asked if it was you on the show. He was very excited.
Oh, yeah, no, I saw his excitement. It was like a whole sputum of tweets, one after another.
He just jizzed out a bunch of excitement all over Twitter.
There's a certain amount of your material or things you put out there in public that a person can remember before they're considered creepy. Like if a guy goes, "Oh, you do that one bit," but if he can do like different bits from different years and know everything you ever wrote on the internet.
Yeah, I don't get that a lot because, I get people coming and, I get people writing tweets the next day. I don't know what he said, but last night was a lot of fun. I can't remember a word of it. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do that set again the next time I come to town.
Yeah.
I like playing around with. I can't just do the same act over and over again. I won't become one of those guys, but I definitely there's just some bits that are fun to do and fun to bring back and stuff.
Well, you have those bits that you want to hear again. You ruined it for the whole log.
Yes, I haven't done that in a while. I should bring that back because it's still a thing. They still have the log rides.
Both birds ablazing.
You'd think we'd be like, it's a modern enough society that we don't have to ride in logs anymore. We can just, be like in a nice boat or a car. Do you have anything to plug, Doug?
Yeah.
I got your dates right here. You don't have to remember.
Yeah, just plug. Yeah, I don't know. San Francisco and just the town.
That sounds good.
Vegas.
San Francisco. Vegas is awesome.
Hey,
You're playing the Plaza Hotel.
Yes, I'm doing this for the
classic
weirdos
Plaza
like
Hotel.
that guy that tweeted me 100 times. We're doing Vegas on the 27th Saturday night, but then we're hanging out all day Sunday watching football in the sports book, and it's a huge sports
At the
book.
Plaza.
So if you want to come to Vegas, if you're that weirdo that has to text everything you know about me to me as though I don't know that about me just to prove that you know me way too much, I'll talk to you at the sports book in Vegas all day that Sunday the 28th.
You'll start with the mimosas.
Yeah, we start
Work
with
your
the
way
mimosas.
into vodka, soda, and grapefruit.
Occasionally a White Russian, but
White Russians.
rum smoothies though, because that way you can feel healthy about drinking it.
Oh yeah, that's true. Get the word
But
smoothie
you can't do that
in
in
there.
Vegas. But when you're at home.
All right, this is the 27th and 28th. See his show at the Plaza Hotel.
Oh yeah.
And then the 28th of September, and then the 28th, the next day, go to the sports book and bug him.
Oh.
And I'm going to be there. I'm
going to be in Austin. You mentioned that, but just go to my website, DougStanhope.com.
Whatever you do, make this part as confusing as possible for the viewers and listeners.
Fucking things up, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. No, I was just going to say I'm going to be at the Plaza Hotel on September 6th.
Oh, really?
And on September 7th, I'd like you all to just leave me alone. I'm not going to tell you where I'll be, but I will still be in Vegas on the next day. Maybe I will tell people where I'm going to be because I'm going to go see a band. September 19th, you're at the Mohawk in Austin. Anything in Austin's a fantastic venue. Love that place. And then you got an Australia tour, November 11th through 22.
Austin's not on there. Oh, there it is. Sorry. All right, I am high as shit, sir.
Yeah. Can you remember? You've got like 11 days in Australia. How many of the cities can you rattle off that you're going to play?
Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, Perth. We're trying to get. I want to get Darwin. I don't know if there's enough people up there. And the one that's Canberra probably made me fuck up the pronunciation.
Right. Yeah, I don't want to try it.
That's the capital, but everyone keeps. I've never played a town where I got more tweets and messages saying, "Don't go to Canberra. Why are you booked there? That place is the worst place ever." So you have a really good reputation coming in there, Canberra.
But yeah, but that's the thing is they might be really cool to you because nobody shows up there.
That's what happened with Wolverhampton in the UK. Oh, they're gonna hate it. Best show of the tour. Am I going?
Wolverhampton, UK.
Yeah.
Speaking of the UK, tonight I'm going to be at the Improv in Tempe, Arizona. They got that London Bridge right there, right?
No, that's Havasu.
Oh, okay. Friday night, I'm doing 2 shows at the Neptune Theater in Seattle, which are going to be taped for my first ever 1-hour TV special. I've never done one of those. Yeah. So speaking of old material, I'm going to dust off some shit for that one. And so we're doing 2 shows, and that's at did I say it's at the beautiful Neptune Theater? So that's this Friday. And like I said before, September 6th, Doug Loves Movies comes to the Plaza Hotel in downtown Vegas. You can see all the Dougs in comedy at the Plaza Hotel
in September.
Doug E. Doug and Doug E. Fresh are both doing some comeback shows also at the Plaza.
We could probably hire them.
Doug Flutie is going to do is he a hockey player? Is he going to do a hockey demo? They're gonna put an ice rink in the Plaza, and he's going to come in and teach people. Dr. Doug Ross from ER is going to come in, and you're going to be like, "Is this George Clooney?" And it's going to be.
Are you saying
he's a football player? He's not a hockey player.
Oh,
football. Flutie is football.
I thought you were shutting down the show. He's like, oh, yeah,
Flutie. Time to go. Time to go. Yeah, but it is time to go. I'm just going off because it's so fun to be this high this early in the morning, and maybe reach some new viewers, especially in Iceland. Thank you to Doug Stanhope for being here. Go to his website and his Twitter, Doug Stanhope, and Gabe, of course, always a delight.
Thank you for having me. And thank you for the mug and the great shirt.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
I'm going to have my friends get these on the YouTube channel. Or is it?
That'd be a way you could find out about them, sure. Yeah, just come watch the show, and we'll tell you constantly about how to get the shirts.
All right, great.
And I can't wait to see you in that shirt.
I can't wait to fit into it.
It's got your name in big letters. I feel silly wearing one. You ever wear your own projects? Did you ever walk around in a Man Show shirt?
No, I never did that.
We gotta go.
Yeah.
Next, we'll see you next Wednesday, the regular time, 4:15 Pacific Standard Time. Next Wednesday. See you. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to my channel, youtube.com/Doug Benson.